What up? It's Easy 11. Finally, a LeBron James property that I could discuss. So today I'm gonna be talking about that Space Jam movie, A New Legacy. I don't think it's a continuation from the first one. It's its own reiteration, sort of, I guess. But yeah, it's about the king today. It's about the GOAT, the greatest basketball player of all time, maybe the greatest athlete of all time, LeBron James. It's a little controversial with people judging it based off of the 1996 Michael Jordan version. This is a 2021 version of the movie, so it's going to be a lot different. Oh, that opening scene with LeBron's mom, she couldn't attend his basketball game, and you could tell that really bothered her, not being able to attend this game. And I felt so bad for her because she had to put food on the table. How you gonna go to them games if you ain't got no food in your stomach, huh? So I did understand that part, but I do understand the basketball player that would love for his mom to be at the game. There's nothing like having that kind of support where somebody that actually raised you up and you're trying to prove, because at that age, I guess LeBron, he was really young, and there's not much he could do to prove or showcase his love for his mom. So at that age, you can't buy your mom a car. Well, I guess some rich people that's... Well, then again, some people that are in different financial situations than other, maybe at that age they can buy their mom a house or a car, but for most commonly known teenagers, they're not known to be able to do that. So I know he wants to reflect the love that his mom gives to him, and he wants to give it back to her. So I guess the only way that he could do that is to showcase his skills that she helped develop on the basketball court. But she's not going to be able to make it to this game tonight, Ronnie. When he gets to this game and the game's about to start, and I don't know, but when you playing basketball, you normally talk to your teammates, strategize or get ready for the game. And his friend gives him a Game Boy, and it was an old Game Boy, outdated, because I guess he was just gifted the newer edition Game Boy. So that was a cool friend. He noticed that LeBron didn't have a Game Boy, so he gave him the old one. And LeBron, he seemed like he really enjoyed that, and it seemed like he was touched and felt by it, or maybe he just doesn't have much and he was just like, wow, I got me a Game Boy now. I don't know, but you could tell that he had you could tell that there was dilemma in the developing of him growing into a man, because I don't know, part of this seemed a lot too real. Like, I can't not see LeBron in the casting when they're writing the movie or talking to the writers or the developers of the scene, like, hey, I gotta put my story in this a little bit, or maybe a lot bit, because it just seems so realistic. You could tell, like, a lot of other people, like his coaches and friends, they put a lot of pressure on him because he was really good at that young age. So they didn't want to risk him missing out on making it to the NBA and making a lot of money. So they were telling him, hey, you might have to get rid of the childhood fun. You can't be like the rest of the kids. You have a whole community on your back that you got to provide for. And man, that's a lot of pressure, but people really do go through these things. So the coach will tell him, the games are not for you. You need to focus on the game, the basketball game, the task at hand, which is defeating, I guess that was a rival team. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that one, but LeBron, he had the ball in his hands, and the coach would say, hey, all you other players, just give the ball to LeBron. And I'm like, wow, that's how it normally goes. It does go like that. I've been through that on each side of that. It gets down to the final moments of the game, and LeBron has the last chance to win the game for his team, and he misses the shot, and you could just tell, like, wow, so he was dealing with a lot of pressure. Nobody should be dealing with that much pressure, especially at that age. The game should be a lot more fun than that was presented. At that age, you might not even like that sport when you're at a mature age to figure out who you are. So I did feel bad that he had that much pressure on him, but that is the way it normally goes in the basketball lifestyle for them kids that age, especially playing those AAU basketball tournaments. One thing is for sure, I'm damn sure not gonna overlook the amount of pressure that I felt when I was watching the game. It was like, wow, is this for real? This cannot be a real thing here, because if this is so, I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan didn't go through this. This was a lot for a kid to go through, and LeBron still made it. LeBron's amazing, but we're not going to talk about LeBron. We're going to talk about LeBron in the Space Jam movie, but I just felt like that should be pointed out. Woo! Those basketball clips, the real actual basketball clips of LeBron James during his basketball career. They had him early in Cleveland. Well, they started off with him in Akron at his high school, St. Vincent, St. Mary's High School. And oh man, that stuff was getting me hyped, because I played basketball myself. Well, I did before all of this stuff that's going on now, that's preventing large gatherings. But yeah, yo, those clips was getting me hyped. I was ready to lace up. I was about to lace up. I was getting my tape ready, about to tape up my wrist and go to the courts. I mean, they were showing his Cleveland highlights when he decided to leave Cleveland and make his way to Miami, where that was the greatest version of LeBron, I think, when he was in Miami. And then when he left Miami to go back to Cleveland, and then he came back from 3-1 to probably one of the, if not the greatest team of all time, the Golden State Warriors, when LeBron came back and beat them from being down 3-1. And then they show when he departed from them after the little Kyrie situation, and you know, that owner, I could never understand how LeBron could do business with that owner after the disgusting, trifling things that he said about LeBron in those emails, that letter to LeBron. And he decides to go to Los Angeles, and he wins another championship, and those was great highlights. I liked it. It was good. Okay, we got something going after that part with, I guess, LeBron's movie sons playing basketball, and the older one is a little bit more dedicated to basketball because it seems like his dad maybe drilled that into his head, or maybe not. I'm not going to judge it, but the way the movie was portraying LeBron to be, it seemed like he was like all in for basketball. You gotta play basketball, or there's nothing else. Like, I'm like, oh, that might be a little bit rough, but his other younger son, he seemed to be more into like the video games and not so much into the basketball. And then out of nowhere, LeBron just appears. I'm like, what the hell? That struck me by surprise. Like, LeBron just appeared out of nowhere abruptly without no warning. And ain't like he was supposed to get a special king introduction, but the way that scene was edited, it could have been better. Woo! I got to talk about LeBron's acting, because it appeared to be noticeable right away. Now, I'm judging this on a critic's point of view, so LeBron, don't kill me. But yeah, it just seemed a little bit like LeBron needs to act a little bit more and have more experience with acting, because it came across as all his lines seemed to me as if he was reading from the teleprompter, like he was just reading from the teleprompter. And it was like, I know that he really wanted to do this Space Jam. It's not Space Jam 2. It's like in the Space Jam universe, so it's Space Jam: A New Legacy. So I really know that he wanted to do this movie, and he wanted to execute well. Michael Jordan's movie was pretty good. I remember that in 1996. So he just seemed so unenthusiastic. Would that be a correct word? Because he probably was eager to do the movie, but he was lacking the acting skills to execute the character perfectly. So nobody's perfect, so it's okay. You're still a king. I mean, damn, how much you third in scoring in NBA history, and you're probably gonna end up first, if nothing odd or freakish happens to prevent that. So yeah, you came back from 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors. So you could sound like you're reading off a teleprompter if you want. Okay. Later on, I guess LeBron, he goes in his son's room, and I didn't understand it at first because I didn't expect. Okay. Why do I always start these things without checking the battery? Battery always dies on me. I gotta do better. I think I was up to saying LeBron was entering his son's room, and his son was, I guess, hiding the fact that he was like developing a video game. That's really cool. His son is gonna be a video game. Well, his son is into video game developing video games. Oh man, that's a bright future, and that seemed pretty cool to me. I like that, but for some reason, I guess he had to hide that because LeBron wants him to be focusing on his upcoming basketball camp. It's an upcoming basketball camp that I think he signed his son up for. I think that's the gist of it, of why he was being skeptical to show LeBron that he's developing the video game. It gets discovered on the screen that he's developing the game. So LeBron decides to, I guess, play the game with him and bond with his son, because I think previously before that, he might have had a conversation with his wife, and she was telling him to be more involved in the child's life instead of being a coach, try to be his dad. They're playing the game, and then the game glitches out, but LeBron was impressed that the game was an interesting basketball game, and then it glitches out, and I guess he needs to work on the game more because it just completely crashed. It was an unexpected crash of the game. So then that scene was over, and then you cut to the algae rhythm guy. That's his name, Don Chino. Don Chino. What's his guy's name? I'll fix that part. But Don Chino. Hope that's his name. Shit. So he was watching and searching and surveilling LeBron for some reason. I don't know why it was so much surveillance over LeBron. Well, he is the king, and I guess he's a bit intriguing to most. I mean, the man, how much followers does he have on Twitter? He got like 40-something million followers, or maybe that's the Instagram. Maybe the Twitter's a larger number. I'm not too sure, but some type of outrageous plethora of following LeBron has, so it's understandable. And the guy was looking up LeBron, and he was figuring out that if he could get LeBron to help him out with, I guess he had some type of program that he wanted LeBron to acknowledge. So he figured, like, there's no greater sponsorship than LeBron James. We get that his son wanted to design these video games, but LeBron, the acting, and then the product placement of LeBron's accomplishments and LeBron's, how could I put this? It just seemed like the staff of the developers of this movie, they also work for the Lakers. Because oh man, everything was about LeBron. So you know what? I gotta go back and check out the first Space Jam with Michael Jordan, because it might have been similar, but this one looked like, damn, they put every perfect line for LeBron to say, and it came across not natural, a little bit too polished. My man was just saying phrases and one-liners. Well, he didn't say many one-liners, but the phrases and the use of verbiage that he was using, it just didn't come across like LeBron would just say these things. But they were true, but it just seemed robotic. It seemed like a robot was like saying these lines almost. Now, I ain't gonna go too far. I ain't gonna call that man a robot while he was acting. Now, whoa, we ain't gonna get too carried away. The man did have some funny parts in the movie that it made me realize, like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to judge this based off a sequel mentality. like expecting this to be exactly from or like or comparable to the first Space Jam movie in 1996. God, how many years was that? That's 25 years ago. Wow, that's a whole person. Like, Jesus. But yeah, I'm not gonna judge it from that. This movie was different. It was something else. It was just something different. So once I started looking at it from that point of view, you know, you exhale and you just take it for what it is. It was slowly changing my opinion on whether or not this was a horrible movie, a okay movie, or a good movie. So at this point, I'm in between the good part of the movie. Is this a good movie? And it was becoming a good movie. I liked it. All right, we're gonna take a little time out because I gotta tell this story. This was like, I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta take a little quick pause on the story real quick because I found this so intriguing for me because I went shopping. What was it? Like maybe 2 days ago, and I got a little hungry, so I decided to go to the food court, and I wanted to eat. And I didn't know really what I wanted to get, but then I decided to get some of the Japanese teriyaki, and it was really good. But I normally take my food home and eat it so I could be more comfortable. But during my past experience from my trip to Georgia, when I was in Georgia visiting family, my one cousin, he likes to sit down and eat in the restaurant. So I had experienced that, and it was a good experience. So I was really hungry. For some reason, I decided to sit down and eat in the food court with a lot of different mixtures of people from each different restaurant. You know how a food court is. No need to explain. So I was eating my food, and it was really good. I might could go for some teriyaki chicken, and that rice was kind of good too. That might be too much starch, might be bad for your health, but yeah, that rice was good. And I'm looking up, and I'm looking at my 11 o'clock, like the degrees would be, what's that, like a 90-degree angle at my 11 o'clock, and I'm eating, and I look, and there's some guy just like staring at me. I'm like, what the? So I'm like, okay. So I start watching something on my phone, eat my food, look up again. The guy's still looking at me. I'm like, what the freak? What is this? Because I do have a problem with people staring at me for large amounts of time, like whether I'm in the car or on a train or any type of situation. Like if somebody just staring at you, like male or female, like, because if you're a female staring and you're not going to say something, and I guess you want me to come over and say something to you, I'd rather you just say something to me so we both can feel comfortable when we interact, instead of like, I don't know what you're staring at, like, got something on my shirt. But yeah, anyway, back to the story. Yeah, that is one pet peeve of mine, the staring. I don't do well with that. So the guy's staring, and I'm like, damn, what's up? Am I gonna have to tell this guy, like, hey, my man, like, what the hell? I don't go that way or whatever, because I didn't know why he was staring at me. And I don't have, I don't have any, like, problems with anybody that will be interested in those type of affairs. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. We're in 2021, right? You know, I don't know what they done did with us in our world and all this stuff going on, and all this mandatory stuff we're gonna have to do to do regular things. But anyway, yeah. So I'm like, am I gonna have to get up and tell this guy, like, my man, like, what's up? Like, I don't play those type of games. So then I eat again, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. And then I look a little bit harder, and I realized that it wasn't a look of interest in that kind of way. It was more of a look of, I want to kill you and wear your skin and dance around with your skin in my house. That's what I got from it. Maybe I watched too many movies, but that's what it was, because this guy is like gazing into space, but yet directly looking at me. So what I decided to do is in the food court, not knowing the tables or the seat situation, I got up and moved my table a little bit to the left, and it made a horrible noise because that table probably wasn't moved in years. And I moved my chairs over to the side, everybody looking at me like, what's this guy doing? So I guess I was enjoying the rest of my meal. So I finished it, and as I was getting up to put my stuff in the garbage and dispose the trash, he got up to put his stuff in the garbage. And I'm like, what is this? So then I said, okay, so I'm not gonna leave because we're not at the same trash dispenser. He's maybe 15, 20 feet to the other direction, opposite of me. And I'm waiting to see what he's gonna do. So I just said, I'm gonna just drink a drink here for a moment because I'm not getting followed by this guy. And I looked back, he just disappeared, he vanished. I was like, what the f? So that was a interesting situation. I don't know where he go, but that was just really odd. So yeah. They have LeBron at the Warner Brothers studio, and they're trying to offer him a deal that he turned down. It seemed like a pretty good deal for me, but when you King James, I guess you got a lot of opportunities. Where's LeBron? LeBron's a billionaire now, so yeah. So he turned down the deal, and that caused a little conflict, I guess, with his son. I forget what happened, but his son ends up running off in the building, and LeBron's just running. Well, not running. He's following him, trying to catch up to him. So they enter an elevator, and the elevator somehow takes them to the servers, the server area, and Algae Rhythm set that up because he controls everything from the inside of the computer world, and yeah, he set that up for them to get, because I guess he already developed this diabolical plan to capture LeBron and take all his talents and hold him hostage, because that's what he ended up doing. They're down there in the server's room, and then he just appears, and then he's just speaking to LeBron and his son, and then he just kidnaps them and teleports them into the computer world. Like, so I guess Michael Jordan had the Toon world when he went in that rabbit hole, and this is like a computerized world, some CGI. So I did notice that LeBron and his son handled being abducted well. I'm like, huh? They're not like being a little bit more aggressive and offended. They were just down there talking to the Algae Rhythm guy, Don, and they were acting like it was normal. I'm like, wow, okay, so I'm just gonna suspend my disbelief watching this. I have to. And yeah, they handled that part well. Yeah, and again, did I mention there's so much product placement? Nike, Warner Brothers, LeBron. It was just like so odd. Like, it's like you pick up a coffee mug and it says, I am King James LeBron, and this is a Warner Brothers movie. Like, that's how bad the product placement was. Yeah, that's how bad the product placement was. It was like getting atrocious. Like, dang. Like every scene, it was. But I mean, most movies nowadays, they take advantage of being able to make money any way they can. Because I mean, everywhere has commercials. They're gonna start having. Well, I think they do with the games on the cell phone. Those have commercials, but they're gonna start putting advertisement in everything. Like, wow, you cannot buy a burger from McDonald's without seeing an advertisement commercial before you purchase it. Yeah, I mean, this one basically had no ties, really. No ties to the first Space Jam movie. Like, I'm like, wow, they really wanted to separate themselves, or LeBron wanted to separate himself. I'm not too sure. It was good. Batman. Well, Bugs Bunny was Batman, but LeBron as Robin, that was pretty funny. And the Game of Thrones and the Matrix little sequences they had, and LeBron dressed up as Neo with the guns and the Matrix and the shades, that was cool. They were on a mission to recruit a team because the Algae guy, Algae Rhythm, he said that he's gonna take LeBron's son because he's really powerful in this world. He takes LeBron's son and he says the only way you can get him back is to beat me in a basketball game. Oh wow, how cliche! Hey, could have came up with a better story, but hey, sorry LeBron, I do gotta judge movies like I judge other movies. But it was funny going through they went through all the Warner Brother properties to figure out how to get a team. I mean, LeBron was trying to recruit Superman. He ended up with Daffy Duck. He was trying to recruit so many different people, but on their mission to do it, they were going through all the Warner Brother properties, and I like that. That part was cool. It was different than the other Space Jam. The word manipulation. This Algae guy, he had a lot of that because he was so sneaky. He was obviously trying to accomplish nefarious tasks. He was very nefarious in his ways of trying to get the division between LeBron and his son. So I'll give that a kind of a A for a bad guy character. He had a lot going on. He was good. If we're gonna give some credit, you gotta give some credit to the man himself. Bugs was pretty good in this one. And Daffy was too. Bugs and Daffy, they was both good. I got them equally as entertaining. They both was 2 thumbs up. Yeah, 1 for Bugs and 1 for Daffy. Okay, it did take a while for the actual feet going to sleep. It did take. Wow, my feet really are going to sleep. Wow. But yeah, it did take a while for the actual game to start. I'm like, God damn, it was a lot of filler scenes throughout that part, from recruiting to getting to the actual game, them training. They had a little training montage for a little while. And LeBron continued to seem like he was reading from a teleprompter. I mean, I gotta keep stating this because I'm trying to give him chance after chance to ease himself up, but it never really was happening during that movie. Maybe at the end, but yeah, and it's all right. He's a basketball player, so he's more than a basketball player. I mean, look how much he does with social injustice and all the stuff he does, charity and building schools. Even though other NBA players, they have built schools, so I'm not gonna take that from them. Like, I think Jalen Rose, he has a pretty good program that he does with the community. But LeBron built that huge school in Cleveland, and the future that LeBron can provide for those kids is just unprecedented. No words can describe what kind of future those kids would have, and they don't know how lucky they are to actually be able to attend that school. The great accomplishments that this man has achieved. I mean, he's done so much for his home community. But let's get back to the Space Jam movie. It's not about LeBron. I'll make up something one day for LeBron. I'll do something nice, but this is about Space Jam. Let's get back to it. So yeah, it did take a long time for the game to start, and LeBron is more than a basketball player. We're not gonna try to send him, we're not gonna have LeBron just shutting up and dribbling. So if you want to try this acting out, he can. He did enough. And there's some people that hasn't even done half the things that LeBron's done, and they had opportunities to act in movies, and they sucked. Once the game started, it was cool seeing all of the Warner Brothers spectators. Like, I think the Iron Giant, but I guess he was advertised in the commercial, so who was it? The Penguin. I noticed the Penguin was there, but all the Warner Brother properties, they were there. And when the game started, it was like way different. I'm trying to think, the first Space Jam in 1996, was it like a pinball game of rules? Because this one felt like we were in a pinball game basketball setting, because the rules was just, I didn't know what type of game they were playing. But it was different, and I'm pretty sure that this movie was not developed for adults to take it so serious. It's probably for younger kids to have a great time watching it and fill their imagination. So if you're gonna judge it on that, they accomplished what they set out to do. That was great. the Porky the Pig. His name Porky Pig or Porky the Pig? It's been a while. I think it's Porky Pig. Porky Pig's rap. The Porky Pig's rap. The Porky Pig rap. It was really good. It was entertaining for me. During the game, there were a lot of teaching moments, and I guess by the second half, after the Toon Squad was getting beat really bad, LeBron decided to ease up, and I guess that was him maturing and developing. And I guess that was the arc that they have for that movie, for LeBron to reach his peak at the summit, and he decided to let the Toons be free and play their style of basketball, if that's what you want to call it, because he was having them like they were in real life NBA. But there are no rules in the Toon world. So once he unleashed the Toons, they came back and they were really good. A lot of funny stuff happened, but they got back into the game. And by the end of the fourth quarter, LeBron was looking at the algae rhythm guy. He was like really hard on his son as a coach, and some fathers, I know that got to be hard, like watching your coach be hard on your son, maybe harder on your son than you would be. So during the game, he had a moment with his son that was very touching and understanding, and he just threw the basketball away, and he decided that he wanted to show how much he loves his son. So his son decided to no longer play with the Goon Squad, and he seen how much fun his dad really is. Damian Lillard had his Dame Time little scene where that was good, and Anthony Davis. They had a lot of eyebrow jokes about Anthony Davis. The Goon Squad was filled with a lot of talent. They were really good, but he decided to go with his dad, which was a good choice. Granny was good too, but it came down to the last possession, and LeBron dunked on Algae Rhythm. I mean, he dunked on him hard. Yeah, he banged it on him, and he posterized him, and that's game over. For them to accomplish that, because he can control the referees, the scoreboard, everything, Bugs Bunny had to sacrifice himself in a way. Is Bugs Bunny going to be deleted? But that didn't seem to happen, and it was a nice little ending. I thought that was good. It ended the game, and then all of the spectators stayed, but all of the humans was brought in, if I didn't mention that. But yeah, there were human spectators brought in. His mom, which is LeBron's movie's wife, and LeBron's movie son, they were brought in, and they were good. There was one guy that was a little bit funny. I forget his name, but he didn't make it in, but he was on the outside. He was pretty good. That was how they ended the game. So then they get back to the real world, and I guess some time passed, and LeBron is taking his son to the basketball camp. They're about to enter the building, and then he shows his son that, no, this is the E3, which is like a gaming convention. If you're into like the video games, or if you're a gamer, you know what E3 is about. No need to explain. And the kid was so happy because he was like, wow, my dad is backing me up, taking me to do something that I want to do, something that I have passion for. I thought that was so great. LeBron, his son had the basketball, and LeBron was like, pass me the ball and go and have fun. But his son said he's gonna keep it with him because I guess he's gonna do both, and that made LeBron really extremely happy. When he chose to be on LeBron's team, and I thought that was so special. At the end, I was wondering, I was like, wow. So, because they were saying that Bugs, when LeBron was leaving, it was inconclusive whether Bugs Bunny was going to survive that. Did Bugs Bunny die? So after LeBron's son goes into the convention, the gaming E3, Bugs Bunny appears, and he tells him he's here, and he brought a whole bunch of his friends. So I thought that was good, seeing Bugs here. Bugs there. When I was seeing Bugs there, I thought that was really good. The ending credits had all of the Toons experiencing stuff in the end credit scenes, and those images was great also. So how do I feel about this movie? This movie was it good, bad, or different, or whatever? It was different than the first Space Jam, and it was good. I liked it. It was not a great one that I will continue to watch again and again and again, but it was good, and I like LeBron's performance. And give it a score, I would say it's about a 6, about a 5, a 5.5 to a 6, in between that 5 and that 6 mark, somewhere trying to figure out itself in between. I hope you guys enjoyed my little conversation about this movie. And until the next time, I'm Easy11. Thank you for checking out my channel, Randomly React and Review First. Stay safe and stay smart. Later.